feel like a dummy sitting next to this guy. We just had David Barton on the phone, and yes, he's exactly right. They did not refer to themselves as Christians. They just referred to the nation as a Christian nation. So 1 point for the atheists on Christian history. Hang on just a second, because Kelly started to ask you a question, and I want to...
Well, I asked her the question first. I said, why do you have those name tags? And then you said so she could ask a question.
That's right. Okay, so Kelly has a question.
Well, I'm just curious what you do with our Founding Fathers' words that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
Yeah, he also uses self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident. And
he also uses nature's God and nature. I think they did this because you had that Thomas Paine. This is not an unusual relationship. George Washington was deeply Christian,
Although also very critical of Christianity as well.
They all were.
From inside, yeah.
Sam Adams, deeply Christian. Thomas Paine. And they got along. I mean, in the end, Thomas Paine did shove a knife in George Washington's back. I'm just saying. But, okay.
I would keep that in mind if I were you.
So answer the question.
Yes, they do talk about a creator, and it is very rare to find an atheist before Darwin. You have a lot of people. If I were around in 1776, I would probably be referred to as a deist. And the basic idea of a deist is that there is no interventionist God, there's no God you can pray to, there's no God that does anything now, but there is a prime mover. Because there's too many mysteries. And atheists often refer to the God of the margins, which is, as time goes on, we put less and less on God and more on things that we find out.
What's first cause?
That's me. That's the prime mover now. There's a great book out by Lawrence Krauss called Why There's Something Instead of Nothing. And there's stuff in particle physics that is giving us real information on the very first. We've got it down to the first billionth of a second. Before that, we don't know. And you just keep pushing back that margin. So to say creator or to say deity in those times was very reasonable.
To say first cause to you, that shouldn't bother you, because you don't know what first cause was.
The biggest misconception on atheism is that atheism is, in a phrase, I don't know. And
I thought that was agnostic.
No, agnostic. It's two different things. Agnostic answers the epistemological question about knowledge. Can we have knowledge? And then you are agnostic if you think two ways to look at it. One, you don't know, but more accurately, you can't know. There are questions you cannot know.
Okay.
There are questions that are beyond us that we can't know. Once you don't know, you don't actively believe. So I use the word atheist out of respect for my Christian friends who believe that belief is active. So if I don't have an active belief, then I am an atheist. So the question agnostic answers is, can it be known? And then the question the atheist answers is not, is there a God? It's, do you believe in God? Do you actively believe in God? So I don't know is the answer. So as soon as you say, how did the world get here? And I answer, I don't know. Even though scientists have got a lot of information, I still don't know. I'm not even sure what's in my refrigerator.
Okay. All right. So in Pennsylvania, a mostly Catholic Italian town had to relocated their nativity scene outside. It was outside of City Hall because of an outside atheist group, the Freedom From Religion Foundation. They came in and threatened the legal action. Thomas Jefferson, in his writings, was proud that City Hall was used for meetings and church meetings on Sunday, four different ones. And he thought that was not a problem. As long as it's not freedom from religion, it's freedom of. As long as if I can put a menorah and everything else out on the Times Square, why do they get so pissy about this?
Well, it's a conservative issue. this is all painted as though it were a progressive issue, and it's really not. It's a conservative issue. A true conservative believes that the government should be out of as much as possible, and there should be individual freedom. And they're also a true Protestant, especially, or Mormon, believes very strongly in an individual relationship with God, which means you have, in an ideal Protestant world, you have over 300 million different views of God in the United States of America. You can't fit those all in City Hall. So the best thing, as you said very well, we should just keep the state out of it. And you should be able to. Look at all the property you have here. Put a creche over there. Put a nativity scene over there. Tattoo things all over your body about God.
So what you're saying is, because
it's only stuff I pay for that I'm bothered by.
Right. But if we have a town square and you know, all of the people on the street, they decide they're gonna pay for all of the decorations and everything else, and they're gonna put them up as long as it doesn't cost the city anything. You don't have a problem with
that. If it's not on public property, it can't be on public property.
Why can't it be on public property?
Because I'm paying for that.
Yeah, but again, let me go back to Thomas Jefferson. Had no problem as long as it's not an endorsement of one religion. As long as it's not, oh, by the way, you can't be mayor unless you believe what I believe. That's what their real problem is.
And you also know, and I'm sure you're fighting this, but there are many places in this country where you cannot hold public office if you are an atheist. Did you know that?
No, but I would fight that.
Yeah, of course you would. But I would just say it's such an easy fix. It's such an easy fix to just say, if the whole town wants this, let the whole town privately buy a lot and do whatever they want.
But the whole town did buy the park.
Well, the whole town did buy the park with the government force. And that's the part. You want to use as little government force as possible. You want as much freedom as possible. So let's say there's one guy in the town who doesn't want to speak about his religion. He believes it's private. And let's say his religion isn't even he's not even atheist. It's not even non-religion. It's some religion that is an offshoot of Christianity that doesn't overlap Christmas. And he doesn't want to speak about this because of his job and other places he's going to be, and he doesn't want his neighbors to know that. That's his personal right. We've checked that in the Supreme Court a zillion times. It's his personal right. Then the town says, we all want this, and he doesn't speak up against it. He's still paying for that, and it's so easy for the majority. You know, we don't care at all about the majority in this country. The majority always gets what they want.
Not now.
What we care about is the individual. It's the things that make you different from everybody else that you have to be protected. The person we care about is the individual who is not just like us. So we have to really fight for the rights of. I don't care if it's one person in a town of 20,000 that goes, I'm not really into this.
So what about then? What about the person who is the pharmacist who says, I am not going to write that prescription?
Absolutely, absolutely is right. Absolutely is right.
I'm not going to write the.
Do not write that prescription. Do not write that prescription. If I own the pharmacy, I can fire you.
Yes,
but that's all we got. No, absolutely. And you're not going to catch me on the other side because I really believe
and the Catholic hospitals that are being
absolutely, they can do whatever they want. Absolutely, just don't take any government money, and you do whatever you want. You take the government money out. It's a conservative issue. It's not a liberal issue. Take the government money out and do whatever you want. Boy Scouts of America, they leave out gays, they leave out atheists. I'm totally okay with that, but you don't get to do your jamborees on public land. That's all I'm saying. Have your private clubhouses. You don't get to do it on public land. Anything else you want to do is fine. And all it comes down to is don't vote to beat up the person different from you. We do not want to be a country of bullies. You don't want to be in that town and say...
Will you say that... Well, you in the back? I'm sorry, I can't see your name.
I'm Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
I'm fine. My question is for Mr. Jillette. I liked how you framed the definition of atheist. I had never thought about that, and it's giving me something to think about. And I also appreciated hearing your explanation about why you oppose like nativity scenes on public property. Could you also comment about what you think about the Ten Commandments being displayed on public property and how that...
It's the same thing. You know, well, one of the ways Glenn and I get to know each other more was him asking me to write an atheist Ten Commandments. And there is a lot of arguments, and very reasonable ones, that morality is more important than religion. When you say the sentence, God is good, you have automatically said that there is a morality outside of God. And that's a morality that we all share. And I think that trying to put that in a Judeo-Christian context in a courthouse does leave people out. It's what all I want is for more people to be included in more things. And that courthouse should really belong to everybody. So let's put as few things in that are exclusive and as many things in as are inclusive.
But when you go all inclusive, sometimes, I mean, you're gonna piss some people off, because some people are killers. Thou shalt not kill is going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what? I want to kill.
Exactly. So, but I'm just saying, if we make it, you know, way down that end, anarchy won't work. But
right.
As much freedom as we can possibly get and keep our individual rights, so we can prove that killing somebody infringes on someone else's rights.